Sydney, a city that enthralls millions worldwide. Maybe it's the world-famous Opera House glowing like a pearl at sunset, or the towering harbor bridge that dares you to climb it. Or maybe, just maybe, it's that in Sydney, nature and culture don't just coexist, they dance. Welcome to a city that feels like a dream, carved between the sea and the sky. Sydney isn't just Australia's most iconic city, it's its heartbeat. Start your journey at Circular Quay, where the Opera House commands your attention like a silent symphony in white. But don't just admire it from the outside, step inside, and you'll discover a complex web of theaters and concert halls, echoing with the sounds of global talent. Right beside it, the harbor bridge stretches across the water like a giant steel rainbow. For thrill seekers, the bridge climb offers a once-in-a-lifetime view from its peak, where you'll see the entire city unfolding beneath you. Hop on a ferry from Circular Quay, and you're suddenly in a postcard. The journey to Manly or Watson's Bay gives you front-row seats to Sydney Harbor's shimmering beauty. Each wave you ride feels like a brushstroke on nature's canvas. And then there's Bondi Beach, golden sands, rolling surf, and a vibe that's pure Aussie. Whether you're diving into the waves or walking the coastal trail to Coogee, Bondi's energy is magnetic. But Sydney's charm goes beyond the water. In the rocks, cobbled streets tell stories of convicts, colonists, and transformation. You'll find boutique shops, weekend markets, and historic pubs where the past still lingers in the walls. Nearby, Darling Harbour pulses with life and entertainment district packed with attractions like Sea Life Aquarium, Wildlife Zoo, and the Australian National Maritime Museum. Nature lovers are in for a surprise. A short train ride takes you to the Blue Mountains, an ancient sandstone wilderness with mist-filled valleys and towering cliffs. Echo Point gives you the best view of the Three Sisters rock formation, while bushwalking trails wind through eucalyptus forests and waterfalls that seem pulled straight from a fantasy film. And let's not forget the food. Sydney is a melting pot, and its cuisine reflects that. Dine harborside at Barangaroo, sample modern Australian fare in Surrey Hills, or discover hidden gems in Chinatown. Each dish tells a story. Each bite adds a new flavor to your journey. As night falls, Sydney sparkles. Whether you're sipping cocktails on a rooftop bar with the skyline in full view, catching a show at the Opera House, or simply walking along the illuminated Darling Harbour Promenade, there's a magic in the air. It's a city that never truly sleeps, because it knows the world is watching. Sydney is not just a place, it's a feeling. It's where modern marvels meet ancient lands, where culture meets coastline, where every corner hides something unforgettable. If Australia is the story, Sydney is the prologue that leaves you breathless and wanting more. Imagine diving into a world so vibrant, so full of life, that it feels like entering another planet. A place where the ocean pulses with color, where coral cities stretch endlessly, and where every moment reveals something new, something alive. Welcome to the Great Barrier Reef, the largest living structure on Earth and one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. And yes, it's even more breathtaking than you think. Stretching over 300 kilometers along the Queensland coastline, the Great Barrier Reef is visible even from space. But down below, beneath the surface of the turquoise sea, lies the real magic. More than 600 types of coral, 500 species of fish, and countless other marine creatures call this reef home. From gentle sea turtles to reef sharks, from playful clownfish to massive manta rays, this is the ultimate underwater safari. Cairns is often the gateway to your reef adventure. A short boat ride takes you out to the outer reef, where snorkelers and divers plunge into an aquatic paradise. The moment your face hits the water, you're surrounded by a world more colorful than your imagination ever allowed. Neon blue parrotfish nibble at coral, giant clams open like animated treasure chests, and schools of fish move in perfect, glittering harmony. For those who prefer to stay dry, don't worry, you can still experience the reef in all its glory. Glass-bottom boats and semi-submersibles offer a window into this underwater kingdom without getting your feet wet. Helicopter tours provide a bird's-eye view, revealing heart-shaped coral cays and the incredible scale of the reef's ecosystem. And then there's the iconic Heart Reef near the Whitsundays, an aerial site so romantic, it's become a symbol of natural wonder and love. Speaking of the Whitsundays, these 74 tropical islands scattered along the reef are a destination all on their own. Whitehaven Beach, with its pure white silica sand and swirling turquoise waters, is regularly ranked among the most beautiful beaches in the world. Spend a day sailing through the islands, lounging on deck with sea breezes in your hair, and anchoring at secluded bays that feel like your own private paradise. But the Great Barrier Reef isn't just a playground, it's a precious, fragile ecosystem that needs protecting. Climate change and coral bleaching have left scars here, visible reminders of how human impact reaches even the most remote corners of nature. That's why ecotourism plays such an important role. Many tour operators now focus on sustainable practices, reef education, and even coral restoration projects, giving travelers a chance to give back while they explore. Beyond the reef, the towns and regions that border this natural wonder offer even more adventure. Port Douglas, with its blend of luxury and nature, makes for a relaxing base. The Daintree Rainforest, just north of the reef, is one of the oldest rainforests on the planet, so old that dinosaurs once roamed beneath its canopy. It's a rare opportunity to experience two World Heritage sites side by side, the reef and the rainforest. As the sun sets over the coral sea and the sky burns orange, the reef reveals its final gift, silence, a moment to reflect, to understand that you've been somewhere truly special, somewhere alive, somewhere sacred. A place that reminds us of how vast, beautiful, and mysterious our planet still is. Visiting the Great Barrier Reef is more than just a trip, it's a journey into the soul of the Earth. It's where nature shows off, where life thrives in every crevice, and where you're reminded that some of the best wonders are hidden just below the surface. What if you could walk through a single city and feel like you've stepped into multiple worlds? A place where every alleyway whispers stories through murals and music, where cafes serve coffee as if it were a sacred ritual, and where tradition and rebellion live side by side. Welcome to Melbourne, the beating heart of Australian creativity and culture. This isn't just a city, it's an experience, one that grabs hold of your senses and never lets go. Melbourne doesn't try to impress you with towering skylines or flashy landmarks. Instead, it draws you in slowly, layer by layer, like a well-written novel. Start with the laneways, hidden arteries of the city painted with street art that turns concrete into a gallery. Hosier Lane is the most famous, where graffiti artists from around the world leave their mark in a constantly evolving open-air museum. As you walk, live musicians add a soundtrack to your journey, their melodies weaving through the air like a spell. Then there's the cafe culture, more serious here than in most cities around the globe. In Melbourne, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a religion. Baristas are like artisans, and the quality of your latte says as much about a place as its location. Whether you're sipping a flat white in Fitzroy or a cold brew in South Melbourne, each cup comes with its own identity and story. And if you're a foodie, you're in heaven. From high-end fusion restaurants to street food markets like Queen Victoria Market, Melbourne is a smorgasbord of global flavor and culinary innovation. But Melbourne isn't just for hipsters and foodies, it's a city of depth. Art, music, theater, and sport collide here in spectacular fashion. The National Gallery of Victoria holds centuries of beauty under one roof. The Melbourne Museum dives into everything from Aboriginal culture to natural history. Catch a live show at the Princess Theatre, or get swept up in the emotion of a symphony at Hamer Hall. And then there's the sport. Oh, the sport. Melburnians live and breathe competition. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, affectionately known as the MCG, is sacred ground. Whether you're watching an AFL match or the Boxing Day test, the energy here is electric. Add in the Australian Open, Formula One Grand Prix, and Melbourne Cup, and you've got a calendar packed with global sporting events that stir the soul. Nature isn't far either. A quick tram ride takes you to the Royal Botanic Gardens, where lush landscapes and tranquil lakes create a peaceful escape in the middle of the city. Or hop in a car and in less than an hour you can be cruising along the Great Ocean Road, one of the world's most scenic coastal drives, past cliffs, beaches, and the iconic 12 Apostles rising from the sea. Melbourne's suburbs each tell a different story. Brunswick pulses with bohemian spirit and live music. St. Kilda offers sunsets over the water and a nostalgic theme park feel with Luna Park's historic face grinning at passers-by. Carlton is the Little Italy of Melbourne, where pasta, gelato, and opera flow in equal measure. And in the multicultural tapestry of Footscray, you'll find flavors from Vietnam, Ethiopia, and beyond, all within a single block. When the sun sets, Melbourne transforms again. Rooftop bars buzz with laughter, speakeasies light up behind secret doors, and live music venues shake with sound. The city doesn't sleep, it reinvents itself at night, drawing you back into its rhythm, one beat at a time. Melbourne isn't a destination you check off a list, it's a city you feel, one that becomes a part of you. It's about discovery, identity, and expression, a place where every street corner could be a moment of inspiration. And when you finally leave, don't be surprised if a part of you stays behind, still wandering the laneways, still sipping coffee, still listening to the distant echo of a saxophone playing just around the corner. What if the land could speak? What if the very ground beneath your feet whispered ancient stories passed down through generations? In the heart of Australia's Red Centre, there stands a monolith that is more than just rock, it's a sacred presence. Uluru isn't just a place you visit, it's a place you feel, deep in your bones, where the silence is alive and the air hums with meaning. Welcome to one of Earth's most profound wonders. Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, is not just a massive sandstone formation rising 348 meters above the desert floor. It is the spiritual heart of the Australian continent. And for the Anangu people, it is sacred. Every crack, every cave, every curve of Uluru holds a story, a piece of the Chukurpa, the Dreamtime, the ancient Aboriginal understanding of the world and its creation. As you approach Uluru, the sheer scale of it is breathtaking. Its deep red surface changes color depending on the time of day, burning orange at sunrise, deep crimson at sunset. But it's not just what you see, it's what you feel. The vastness of the desert, the stillness of the landscape, the ancient energy radiating from the rock, it humbles you. You realize that you're standing in a place untouched by time. Start your visit at the Uluru Kata Tjuta Cultural Center, where you'll gain insight into Anangu traditions, language, and their deep spiritual connection to the land. Understanding the cultural significance of Uluru makes every step more meaningful. This is not a monument to be climbed, but a presence to be respected. Instead of climbing, walk the base. The full 10.6-kilometer trail around Uluru reveals its many personalities. You'll pass waterholes where life gathers in the driest landscape, ancient rock art etched into sandstone, and sacred sites that are off-limits out of respect for Anangu law. As you walk, guided tours led by Aboriginal elders and rangers deepen your connection to the land, sharing legends that explain how the world was shaped by ancestral beings. Just 50 kilometers away lies Kata Tjuta, also known as the Olgas, a group of 36 dome-shaped rock formations that rise from the desert like sentinels. While Uluru feels powerful and solitary, Kata Tjuta feels mysterious and communal. The Valley of the Wind's Walk takes you through narrow gorges and wide-open plains, where the silence is broken only by the rustle of desert winds and the crunch of your boots on red earth. Stay overnight and witness the desert sky come alive. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Field of Light art installation begins to glow over 50 solar-powered stems gently illuminating the desert floor. Created by artist Bruce Monroe, it's a surreal and moving experience, like walking through a dream woven from stars. Speaking of stars, the Red Center offers some of the clearest night skies in the world. Gaze upward and see the Milky Way stretch across the heavens, unpolluted by city lights. You'll feel small but not insignificant, more like connected to something greater. Accommodation in the region ranges from luxury desert resorts to eco-friendly campsites. Wherever you stay, Mornings begin early, with travelers rising in the dark to catch the first golden rays spilling across Uluru's surface. There's something spiritual about those moments, something that speaks directly to the soul. Uluru is not a tourist attraction. It's a teacher, a storyteller, a silent guardian of thousands of years of culture, belief, and identity. It reminds us that the earth holds wisdom older than anything we've built, and that if we listen closely, we just might understand a piece of it. So when you come to Uluru, come with curiosity, but also come with reverence. Come to witness the beauty, but also the meaning. Because this isn't just the center of a country, it's the center of something much deeper. Some roads are built to get you from one place to another, but some are built to take your breath away. The Great Ocean Road isn't just a highway, it's a moving experience. A cinematic journey along Australia's rugged southern coastline where every turn reveals another masterpiece. With roaring cliffs, ancient rainforests, seaside towns, and rock formations carved by wind and water, this is not just one of the best road trips in Australia, it's one of the best in the world. Starting just 90 minutes from Melbourne, in the town of Torquay, famous for its surf culture and birthplace of iconic brands like Rip Curl and Quicksilver, the journey begins with salt in the air and the promise of something unforgettable. Torquay leads you straight to Bells Beach, a legendary surfing spot where waves crash with wild elegance and surfers ride them with poetry and motion. As the road winds further southwest, the landscape starts to shift. One moment, you're flanked by rolling green hills, and the next, you're teetering above crashing waves on cliffs that seem to drop into infinity. But the crown jewel of the Great Ocean Road, the moment you'll never forget, awaits further ahead: the 12 Apostles. These towering limestone stacks rise dramatically from the Southern Ocean, remnants of an eroded coastline shaped over millions of years. Despite the name, only 8 apostles remain standing today, but their impact is monumental. Visit at sunrise or sunset, and the light dances across their surfaces, painting the sea gold and crimson. The viewing platforms offer breathtaking perspectives, but if you really want to feel the majesty, take a helicopter ride. The aerial view is nothing short of divine. But the road has more stories to tell. Lockhart Gorge, just minutes from the Apostles, offers a hauntingly beautiful stretch of beach surrounded by sheer cliffs. Named after the tragic shipwreck of the Lockhart in 1878, this spot blends beauty with history. Walk down the steps and feel the weight of the past in the air as waves crash against the sandstone walls. Further along, explore the quaint coastal villages that dot the journey. Lorne is a favorite, with its art galleries, oceanfront cafes, and friendly small-town charm. Grab a coffee, walk the pier, and breathe in the fresh sea breeze. Then there's Apollo Bay, a perfect place to pause for the night. Nestled between forested hills and the coast, it offers delicious seafood, cozy accommodations, and the gateway to another surprise, the Great Otway National Park. This ancient rainforest is a magical detour inland. Walking through the Otways feels like stepping into a fairy tale. Giant ferns, moss-covered trees, and hidden waterfalls create a world so lush and quiet it feels sacred. The air is cooler, the light filtered through thick canopies, and every step brings you closer to the heartbeat of nature. As you return to the coast, don't miss the chance to visit the Grotto, London Arch, and the Arch, other natural rock formations that showcase the relentless artistry of wind and sea. And keep your eyes peeled for local wildlife. Koalas nap in eucalyptus trees near Kennet River, kangaroos graze by the roadside, and colorful parrots swoop down to greet travelers. The Great Ocean Road is more than just a collection of stops, it's a rhythm, a dance between land and sea, between the wild and the serene. It's about moments, standing on a cliff with the wind in your face, driving into the golden hour with the ocean beside you, or simply watching the sky change over the Apostles. And when your journey ends, maybe in Warrnambool or Port Fairy, you won't just remember the places, you'll remember how you felt, free, inspired, humbled. Because the Great Ocean Road doesn't just take you somewhere new, it takes you closer to the edge of the earth. And maybe closer to yourself. What if paradise wasn't about palm trees and cocktails, but about silence, wilderness, and ancient beauty. What if you could walk through a forest older than time, hike mountains that touch the clouds, and breathe air so clean it feels like it's healing you? Welcome to Tasmania, Australia's island state, where the world slows down and nature takes center stage. Remote, rugged, and endlessly captivating, Tasmania isn't just a destination, it's a revelation. Separated from mainland Australia by the Bass Strait, Tasmania often flies under the radar. But those who venture here quickly discover a place unlike anywhere else. Over 40% of the island is protected as national parks or World Heritage Wilderness. It's a haven for explorers, hikers, and anyone craving something raw and real. Start your journey in Hobart, the island's charming capital. Nestled between the Derwent River and the towering Mount Wellington, Hobart is a fusion of heritage and modern creativity. Wander through Salamanca Market on a Saturday, where local artisans sell handmade crafts, gourmet produce, and quirky treasures. Just minutes away, the Museum of Old and New Art Mona offers a mind-bending experience unlike any traditional museum. It's provocative, eccentric, and absolutely unforgettable. But to truly experience Tasmania, you need to leave the city behind. Drive west into the heart of the wilderness and you'll find Cradle Mountain Lake St. Clair National Park. Cradle Mountain rises dramatically above Dove Lake, its jagged peaks reflecting on still waters. Whether you're taking the scenic boardwalk or challenging yourself with a full summit climb, this place feels like something pulled from a fantasy novel. Wallabies bounce through alpine meadows, wombats waddle along trails, and the silence is so deep, it echoes. Further south, Freycinet National Park offers a totally different kind of beauty. White sand beaches meet granite mountains in dramatic contrast. The crown jewel is Wineglass Bay, one of the most photographed beaches in the world. Viewed from above, its perfect crescent shape and sapphire waters are a masterpiece of nature. A hike to the lookout is a must, but if you want the full experience, kayak in the bay at sunrise or book a boat cruise along the coast. Tasmania is also a land of legends, both human and animal. Once home to the mysterious Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine, the island still carries whispers of its ghost. Though officially extinct, occasional sightings keep the mystery alive. Meanwhile, the Tasmanian devil, with its fierce growl and powerful jaw, roams the forests and is fiercely protected by conservation efforts. Visit wildlife sanctuaries like Bonorong or Trowana to get up close with these unique creatures and support their survival. Head east, and you'll discover the Bay of Fires, a coastline where orange-hued granite boulders meet clear blue sea. It's one of Tasmania's hidden gems, perfect for camping, beachcombing, or just listening to waves roll in on untouched shores. Further down the coast, Maria Island offers no cars, no shops, just wildlife, history, and hiking trails. It's like stepping back in time. And then there's Bruny Island, a short ferry ride from Kettering. Split into north and south by a narrow isthmus, it's famous for towering sea cliffs, gourmet local produce, and incredible bird life. Sample artisan cheese, fresh oysters, and locally made chocolates before venturing to the neck lookout for panoramic views that will leave you breathless. Tasmania isn't flashy. It doesn't shout for your attention. It whispers. It waits. And when you listen, it speaks volumes. It teaches you the value of stillness, the power of untouched landscapes, the stories etched into stone, water, and wind. So if you're looking for a place to disconnect from the chaos and reconnect with what really matters, Tasmania is waiting. Wild, poetic, and deeply Australian. It's the kind of place that doesn't just stay in your memory, it lives in your soul. What if you could step into a world that hasn't changed for over 180 million years? A place so ancient, so rich with life, that walking through it feels like entering Earth's memory? Welcome to the Daintree Rainforest, a realm older than the Amazon, where vines tangle through misty canopies and every breath carries the scent of something wild. This is Australia's jungle heart, where nature still whispers in the language of the dinosaurs. Located in far north Queensland, just north of Cairns, the Daintree is a living museum of evolution. Here, the rainforest meets the reef, Two World Heritage Sites colliding in one place, creating a unique ecosystem found nowhere else on Earth. As you cross the Daintree River and enter the forest, you don't just arrive, you surrender. The air thickens, the sounds change, and your senses sharpen. This is not just a forest, it's a world of its own. The Daintree is the oldest tropical rainforest on the planet, home to thousands of species, many of which exist nowhere else. It's a place where you might encounter a cassowary stepping quietly through the undergrowth, its brilliant blue head peeking through the ferns, or see a Boyd's forest dragon clinging to a mossy tree trunk, completely still, as if frozen in time. Giant fan palms spread like natural umbrellas, and ancient fig trees twist toward the sky, their roots like serpents, coiling through the soil. Begin your exploration at the Daintree Discovery Center, where aerial walkways, towers, and interpretive exhibits help you understand the deep complexity of the rainforest. But the real magic happens when you wander into the forest itself. Guided walks, led by local Aboriginal Kuku-Yalanji people, open your eyes to the cultural and spiritual importance of this land. Through their stories, you'll learn how every plant has a purpose, how the forest provides medicine, food, and shelter in a delicate balance honed over millennia. Take the Jindalba Boardwalk through lush, lowland rainforest, or hike the Mount Sorrow Ridge Trail for panoramic views of the treetops and Coral Sea. The Mossman Gorge, with its crystal-clear river, is another must-visit. Surrounded by giant boulders and dense jungle, it offers serene swimming holes and tranquil rainforest trails. It's the perfect place to slow down and listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. But it's not just the land that captivates. The Daintree spills into the sea at Cape Tribulation, a name given by Captain James Cook after he ran aground here in 1770. Today, it's a place of surreal beauty, where rainforest trees hang over white sand beaches and mangroves stretch into the turquoise ocean. It's one of the few places on Earth where two World Heritage wonders meet, the Daintree and the Great Barrier Reef. Stay overnight in eco-lodges built right into the forest canopy. At night, the jungle comes, alive with the calls of frogs, owls, and nocturnal marsupials. Look up, and you'll see the stars cutting through the canopy like pinholes into another universe. There are no city lights here, just the deep pulse of nature, undisturbed and ancient. The Daintree is also a powerful reminder of what we stand to lose. Climate change, invasive species, and human impact threaten this delicate paradise. But the region's growing focus on ecotourism, sustainability, and indigenous-led conservation is helping to protect it for now and for the future. Every visit helps support that effort. To walk through the Daintree is to feel the past breathing around you. It's a place that doesn't just show you beauty, it reminds you of where we come from, of how connected we truly are to the earth, and of how much magic still exists in the world, if we're willing to listen. What if you could escape to a place where nature still rules, where wildlife roams free, and every sunrise feels like a secret shared only with you? Welcome to Kangaroo Island, Australia's wild, windswept treasure. Just a short flight or ferry ride from South Australia's mainland, this island feels like a different world altogether. It's raw, it's pure, and it might just be the most underrated destination in the entire country. Kangaroo Island, or KI, as locals lovingly call it, is where the wild things are. Imagine seeing kangaroos grazing in open fields, sea lions sunbathing on deserted beaches, and koalas dozing high up in eucalyptus trees. But unlike crowded zoos or touristy sanctuaries, here, you're not just watching nature, you're living alongside it. Begin your journey in Penishaw or Kingscote, depending on how you arrive. From there, the road opens up into rolling hills, rugged coastlines, and endless stretches of open sky. It's not a big island, but don't let the size fool you. Every corner hides something remarkable. One of the crown jewels is Flinders Chase National Park. Here, you'll find the famous Remarkable Rocks, giant granite boulders, sculpted by wind and time into alien-like shapes. Perched high above the sea, they look like something from a surrealist painting. Just down the road is Admiral's Arch, a dramatic rock bridge where New Zealand fur seals play in tidal pools and bask on jagged cliffs. The power of the Southern Ocean crashes against the rocks below, creating a soundtrack of nature's fury and grace. But the magic of KI isn't just in its landscapes, it's in its silence. There are moments here when all you hear is the wind through the trees or the distant call of a bird. It's in those moments that you realize, this is what the world sounded like before we built over it. Visit Seal Bay Conservation Park, where guided tours take you onto the beach just meters away from a colony of Australian sea lions. Watch as pups wrestle in the sand and adults snooze peacefully under the sun. The experience is intimate and humbling. No fences, no glass. Just you, the sea, and one of the rarest marine mammals in the world. For something a little more adventurous, head to Little Sahara. Yes, you heard that right, this island has its own inland desert. Towering sand dunes rise unexpectedly from the bushland, and you can climb them or try sandboarding your way down. It's a burst of adrenaline in the most unexpected place. And then there's the food. Kangaroo Island is a rising star in the world of sustainable produce and artisanal flavors. Oysters plucked straight from the sea, honey from the island's unique Ligurian bees, and award-winning cheeses and wines from boutique farms and vineyards. It's a culinary journey wrapped in coastal serenity. Wildfires in 2020 scorched nearly half the island, but in true Australian spirit, KI has come back stronger. Forests are regrowing, wildlife is returning, and the community remains deeply committed to preserving the island's natural soul. Visiting now is more than just a vacation. It's a way to support recovery and be part of something meaningful. Stay in eco-lodges surrounded by nature or cozy bed and breakfasts with ocean views. Wake up to kangaroos grazing outside your window. Watch the stars from your porch, free of city lights. And if you're lucky, catch a glimpse of the Southern Lights Aurora Australis glowing faintly over the horizon on a winter night. Kangaroo Island isn't polished. It's not about fancy attractions or crowded landmarks. It's about space, silence, wildness. It reminds you of how beautiful the world can be when we simply let it be. So if you're craving something different, something real, come here. Let the island slow you down. Let the wind reset your thoughts. And let the animals remind you that the wild is still out there and it's waiting for you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Crystal clear waters shimmering beneath you. Powder, white sand so fine it squeaks under your feet, and gentle waves lapping against lush, uninhabited islands. This isn't a fantasy, it's the Whitsundays. Located in the heart of the Great Barrier Reef, this archipelago of 74 tropical islands is where paradise comes to life. If you're chasing the ultimate island escape in Australia, this is where your journey ends and where your dreams begin. The Whitsundays are more than just beautiful. They're magical. Suspended between sky and sea, these islands offer an intoxicating mix of luxury, adventure, serenity, and raw natural beauty. Fly into Airlie Beach, the gateway to the Whitsundays, and you're instantly wrapped in a laid-back tropical vibe. From here, the islands are just a ferry ride or scenic flight away, each one offering a different version of paradise. At the center of it all is Whitehaven Beach, often ranked as one of the most beautiful beaches on Earth. With its pure silica sand so bright it glows white under the sun and swirling turquoise waters, it's a place that doesn't just live up to the hype, it exceeds it. The best view? From above. A helicopter or seaplane ride gives you a stunning aerial shot of Hill Inlet, where the tides create painterly patterns of sand and water, shifting and swirling like nature's own masterpiece. Sailing through the Whitsundays is a must. Whether you book a luxury yacht, a budget-friendly catamaran, or a multi-day sailing tour, gliding between these islands is an unforgettable experience. Drop anchor in secluded coves, snorkel in coral-rich reefs, and spend your nights under a sky full of stars, with the ocean gently rocking you to sleep. If diving is your passion, the Whitsundays offer some of the best access to the Great Barrier Reef. Explore underwater wonderlands teeming with marine life, colorful corals, curious fish, sea turtles, and maybe even a reef shark or two. Dive spots like the Stepping Stones, Luncheon Bay, and the Outer Reef are teeming with life and completely surreal. Even beginner snorkelers will be amazed by what lies just beneath the surface. Back on land or island, rather, you have plenty of choices. Hamilton Island is the most developed, offering high-end resorts, restaurants, and even golf buggies as your main form of transport. It's luxurious, lively, and ideal for families or couples. Daydream Island is another favorite, known for its resort and famous Living Reef Aquarium, an open-air lagoon where you can interact with stingrays and reef sharks. But if you're after seclusion, head to Hook Island or Whitsunday Island, less developed, more rugged, and perfect for immersing yourself in nature. Hike through rainforests, swim in natural lagoons, and enjoy beaches with no footprints but your own. The Whitsundays are also a hub for romance. It's one of the most popular wedding and honeymoon destinations in Australia for a reason. Picture saying, "I do," on a beach, with no one else in sight, or enjoying a candlelit dinner by the sea, as the horizon swallows the sun in hues of orange and pink. The atmosphere is intoxicating. And let's not forget the wildlife. Sea turtles nest along these shores. Dolphins dance in the boat's wake. Migrating humpback whales pass through these waters between June and October, often breaching right near your boat. It's a moving reminder that while this place feels like a resort, it's still a thriving ecosystem. But perhaps the most powerful thing about the Whitsundays is the way they make you feel. Time slows down. The world gets quieter. The water washes away your stress. And in those still, salty moments, whether you're watching the sun rise from a mountaintop or floating aimlessly in a hidden bay, you feel it. Peace. The Whitsundays aren't just a tropical destination. They're a reminder of what untouched beauty looks like, and what it feels like to truly let go. Imagine stepping into a world where nature dominates, where wildlife roams free, and the landscapes look like scenes from a forgotten time. Just off the coast of South Australia lies one of the country's most breathtaking, Secret's Kangaroo Island. Often called Australia's zoo without fences, this island is a raw, rugged, and real wilderness experience, packed with unforgettable encounters and dramatic scenery. If you think the name sounds like a tourist gimmick, think again. Kangaroo Island is the real deal. It's home to thousands of wild kangaroos, wallabies, echidnas, koalas, and sea lions, all thriving in their natural habitats. But that's only part of the magic. This island isn't just about wildlife. It's about unspoiled coastlines, haunting rock formations, and a spirit of isolation that makes you feel like you've entered another world. Accessible via a short flight from Adelaide or a scenic ferry ride from Cape Jervis, Kangaroo Island is surprisingly close to civilization, yet it feels incredibly far away. There are no massive crowds here, no blaring tourist traps, just sweeping vistas, untouched beaches, and quiet forests filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. Start your adventure at Flinders Chase National Park, a wild expanse of bushland and dramatic coastline. This is where you'll find two of the island's most iconic landmarks, Remarkable Rocks and Admiral's Arch. The Remarkable Rocks truly live up to their name, a collection of massive, wind-sculpted granite boulders perched atop a cliff overlooking the Southern Ocean. They look like they were dropped there by giants. At sunrise and sunset, their orange, lichen-covered surfaces glow like fire. A short drive away is Admiral's Arch, a stunning sea-carved cave dripping with stalactites. Beneath it, fur seals lounge on the rocks, diving into the churning sea with surprising grace. Watching them play as waves crash in the background is one of the island's most mesmerizing sights. Then there's Seal Bay, where you can walk among one of the country's largest sea lion colonies. No fences, no barriers, just you, a guided path, and these incredible creatures living their daily lives. It's humbling to stand just meters from them as pups, nurse, bulls spar, and mothers call out to their young. But Kangaroo Island's charm doesn't stop with wildlife. Vivon Bay is often named one of Australia's best beaches. Its crescent-shaped coastline, soft white sand, and brilliant blue water offer a quiet retreat from the world. You could spend hours here, swimming, picnicking, or simply soaking in the serenity. Head inland, and the island reveals its agricultural side. This place is famous for its artisanal produce, from organic honey and fresh oysters to award-winning wines and cheeses. Stop by local farms, cellar doors, and roadside stalls to taste the island's bounty. Every flavor tells a story of hard work, clean air, and fertile soil. And if you're into adventure, Kangaroo Island delivers. Kayak along the Harriet River, sandboard down the dunes of Little Sahara, hike through rugged bush trails, or take a nighttime tour to spot nocturnal animals beneath a star-strewn sky. It's one of the best stargazing spots in the country. After devastating bushfires in 2020, the island faced massive loss. But what's truly inspiring is its recovery. The landscape is regenerating, the wildlife is returning, and the people have rebuilt stronger than ever. Visiting Kangaroo Island isn't just a travel experience, it's a way to support the rebirth of a natural treasure. And perhaps that's the most beautiful part of Kangaroo Island. It feels honest. It doesn't try to be flashy or commercial. It's not manicured or tamed. It's wild, it's real, and it lets nature take the lead. As you drive along its winding coastal roads or sit quietly beneath a eucalyptus tree while a koala munches above you, you'll feel that deep, undeniable connection to the land. It's something few places offer anymore. And it stays with you long after the journey ends. Kangaroo Island isn't just a destination. It's a sanctuary for the soul. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels and see you in the next video.